Hey, I'm Her Orange Coat and I'm an alt folk singer-songwriter from West Yorkshire. I recently did a project called the Woodland Sessions. I went to 5 separate woodland locations and sat, wrote and recorded a song in each spot, each in a single day. I've got an incredibly long documentary video on the making of the Woodland Sessions, which includes all the locations and more, so please do go check that out. But this is an episode taken from that video of my day out in Judy Woods, my first location. I hope you enjoy it. I'm at Judy Woods. It's the other side of Bradford into Halifax. There's a rich folk history here. There's a story of Judy North, who used to sell parking pigs and she lived in the woods. So I'm going to probably end up talking about her. In Halifax, there's a lot of stories about the gibbet, I don't know how you say it, the gibbet, I think. They famously, as part of their judicial process, killed a lot of people there. Halifax also has like some nice cat stories. There's this general Yorkshire one about parking and a dragon and a drunk old, well, not old woman, but a drunk woman that I want to tie to Judy North if I do end up talking about her. But I just need to go and see what vibes I feel, see what inspires me whilst I'm there and go from there. I've obviously done the research and that might feed into what I do and it might also not. So I'm gonna go catch a vibe and yeah, hopefully get a good song out of it. But we'll see. Literally looks like a sweaty egg. But no, it's a lovely day. There's a lot of midges about, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm actually quite scared of flies. Got bit by a horsefly once. I wrote a song about it. But yeah, not a fan of that. In spite of the fact that I love nature, hate flies. Appreciate that they're needed, hate them. Anyway, I was just having a little think that I am driving to these places and it feels bad. I owe a lot to nature, lyrically and sonically. I'm pretty reliant on nature. And here I am about to go sit in nature for a good period of time and feel inspired by it, and that's all great. But to have driven here and the other places, it's necessary for a whole multitude of reasons, but it's feels bad. So I'm going to think about how I could potentially offset that, whether that's me getting public transport for the same number of miles in a case that I would have driven. And I know offsetting's not good enough. Yeah, I'll have a little think about that. I think I'm about to reach something. I'm reaching something. What's this say? Aha! Judy Woods. In this direction. So I found a spot. It's not too far off the path. I can actually see the main path back there, which is not the most ideal because it means there's probably going to be some people coming past at certain points. But there's something about this space I was just kind of drawn to, and it just feels right. It's kind of clearing sort of space. And I remember I watched a show of Sandy Toksvig trying to rejuvenate this bit of woodland that she bought, and I remember them saying how important it is to have clearings, because then other things can kind of grow up. And I'm sat under a tree and it's really lovely. I was struck by something that was said a couple of times at the last place that I went to. This idea that people come to the countryside for quiet and calm and peacefulness. And I think that's such a misunderstanding of nature. The countryside can be quiet and calm. It can also be loud and violent. I just don't subscribe to the view that it's all calm and peaceful. I had a few ideas in this space. One was this quite sinister sounding ukulele part in 7. It was destabilising, unbalanced, but it didn't go anywhere. I also saw a woodpecker in the wild for the first time, which was a magical experience, and yes, the word magical will crop up repeatedly in these clips, but it was magic. I've never seen one, but somehow, from appearance only, I knew what it was, and it reminded me of seeing gorse on a walk and just knowing the word like some deep ancestral knowledge. So I got these ideas recorded. I feel it in my gut, I feel it in my blood. It's currently 1 something. I've had quite a lot of ideas. I don't particularly like it. And this is the process of creating things, is that it's a lot of trial and error. It's still not feeling quite right, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna quickly have some lunch, then I'm gonna move location and then feel more inspired hopefully, and keep having a little play at things and just see where we go from there. This was the point where it all started to come together. I walked down some steep banks because I was drawn to the sound of water and found this gorgeous sight. But right after leaving the water's edge, I came across the most epic dried up gully. It was pretty dramatic, eaten into the landscape, but notably barren, almost like a shadow of itself. And this sparked the next idea. Dry marsh crumbles in the most sickening way. It's how I think our bones break. It's how I think our bones break in the heat of... You can't see, but I sat on the gully's edge to write this. I felt mournful, and I wish I could show you what I saw, but no camera angle captured it. The lighting on one of the sunniest, hottest days of the year also betrays the mood, but the mood is also complex. There's a lot of hope in the song, and I kept thinking of water as a life-giving entity. It's at once so incredibly sad how we abuse this resource, and so profound just how central it is to everything. I had to come away from that sight of hopeful mourning, or however you can characterise those emotions, and I finished the song back where it all started. Everything fell into place, as it somehow does when a song takes shape. And you can see how excited I was in this next clip, with possibly the most awkward bodily positions I have ever witnessed myself endure. So, enjoy. So I've written a song about water in the end, and I originally was sat writing it I went and watched some water that kind of feeds into a channel and then comes down quite a narrow bit, but there's not actually that much water and there should be a lot more. And the reason I know this is because I went and sat by a dried up gully, and it was the most impressive gully ever, but completely bone dry, and it made me feel sad. We're currently on a hosepipe ban and we're at that sort of state. We've had the driest period again, but I feel like they're always saying that in the news because we always are, and it's always concerning. Yeah, so I've written a song about that, and I think I've actually just finished it. I wasn't sure about it, and now I'm a lot more sure about it. So I'm gonna try and perform it quite a few times because I'm definitely gonna get it wrong, and then hopefully get something out of that. But yeah, that's what I've done. This is kind of like manspreading, isn't it? It's a little weird, but it's even weirder. Yeah, that's where we're at. I made sure to capture some of the natural reverb in each of the spaces, so you'll see this weird clapping ritual. But here's the song. Dried moss crumbles in the most sickening way. It's how I think our bones break in the heat death edge of gully, old banks that never can break. Follow down, follow down, follow down. I heard you and I followed the sound. Reptile shallows, scales across sodden stone, snow that in the woods where the algae and hope grow. But when you've ended and all your bets become grays, where will I, where will I, where will I go? I heard you and I followed the sound. I heard you and I followed the sound. Fallen trees crossed like a stigmatic starlight, and everything leans in a reach and take out. But when you've ended and leave scars on the landscape, where will I, where will I, where will I go? I heard you and I followed the sound. I heard you and I followed the sound. I think I've got something usable, which is fab. It's actually been quite an intense day. I was getting stressed that I wouldn't think of anything good. I just couldn't put the story of Judy in the end. It just wasn't feeling right. But yeah, I think I've got something that I can be pleased with. And it's kind of more my sort of like climate leanings sort of work. So this is an insane amount of time to have spent mucking about in the woods. And what a privilege it is to be able to do that. Now I need to go home and do a load of admin work and have my dinner. I need to have my dinner. So that was it. I'd sat, written and recorded a song in one day. I'd taken a million takes and it was time to go home.